how were you able to be so successful outside? Like, look, obviously there was some grit, some determination, and a system in place to focus on geography and talk to owners. But you can work really hard, but if you don't know what to say, that's also an issue. How did you develop that skill set to talk to owners either on the phone or in person?
Yeah, well, we decided right off the bat we were going to have a very simple and straightforward value proposition. And we told people, look, we only sell buildings, we only represent sellers, we only work on exclusives, and we only work in your neighborhood. Right? That's what, 8 seconds to say that, and nothing vague about it. And we said, look, if you want to sell your building, hire us exclusively. Otherwise, there's nothing we can do for you. And we had done a tremendous amount of research on the market. So we really knew. So, you always want to, when you're prospecting, you always want to add something of value to the client. So we would call up right off the bat and say, hey, we just did a 3-year study of sales in your neighborhood. Would you like us to share that with you? And then we'd send it to people. We'd follow up. They knew we knew the market. We could say, hey, in this territory, there are 962 buildings, X percent of them sold last year, X percent sold the year before that, and the year before that. The average price per foot was X, the average cap rate was Y. And it was clear. I mean, we were barely shaving and we knew a lot about the market. And that was a differentiator for us. That differentiator led to a competitive advantage, and that's what you want. And specialization does that. I think even to this day, that's why I'm such a big proponent of proprietary data, because if you have your own data set and you have verified everything, you have something no one else has. If you're just pulling a report from a third-party aggregator, anybody can do that. You're a commodity then. But if you have your own data set, you're really adding value to your client. You're helping them make a more informed decision. And at the end of the day, it's all about the client. So how can you help the client make better decisions, more informed decisions, get better results? So we said, let's go in and really know the market. And I tell you, my baseball background was very helpful. From the time I was in Little League, I kept track of all my pitching stats after every game I played. And in the same way, we tracked the market, how many buildings were selling, what types of buildings were they, how many buildings are there? And I even say that to young kids today. I said, I have a bunch of people in my market that are doing the same thing I'm doing. They've been around for 20 years. I'm just starting out. What do I do? I said, put a line on a map around the market that you're covering, count the buildings, and understand how many buildings sold last year, how many the year before that, how many the year before that, what was the average price per unit, average price per square foot. And if you spout those statistics off to owners in your territory or in the area you're covering, I guarantee you, the person with 20 years of experience does not know those statistics. And so it's a very easy way to differentiate yourself from the rest of the pack. And the most frequently asked question you're going to get as a broker is, how's the market? 99% of brokers answer that question with adjectives. Again, if you're answering with adjectives, you're a commodity. If you answer with statistics, it shows that you know your market and know what's going on.
Incredible.